How's it, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be doing my review for The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 7. This one was the Left Behind DLC episode, and I was kind of dreading this episode, to be honest with you. I was very much expecting this to be more of a bottle episode, and for the most part it was just dealing with Ellie and Riley in the abandoned mall. However, it is somewhat intercut with Ellie taking care of Joel, although I do think they could have done a much better job at intercutting that story within the Ellie and Riley story. We only really get to see the Ellie and Joel stuff at the beginning and end of the episode, while I think they could have shown a bit more of that, to be honest. I really do. And I would have liked to have seen maybe, Ellie hunting or something like that. Similar to the game in the story in the game, rather. But, I still thought the episode was solid, even though I was worried about watching it, because I was like, I don't know, this episode might not be amazing. And overall, I think the episode's pretty solid, but it is probably one of the weaker ones. It might actually be my least favorite of the entire show so far. Again, I was kind of expecting that. But, I still had some fun with it, and definitely there's a lot of emotional moments in this episode as well. However, it was just a bit slower paced and definitely served as a bottle episode. I'm not going to say it was meaningless. This episode wasn't meaningless or anything. It had significance for the plot, obviously. I can already hear people complaining about how this episode doesn't advance the plot. I mean, it still serves significance for Ellie's character, and that's really all it wanted to do. I've heard people complain about the pacing with this show, whether it speeds things up too fast or goes too slow. Mostly people have actually said that it speeds the story up too much, but especially last episode. But, I think the pacing so far is okay. I think really the main problem with the pacing, the episode I had the most problem with the pacing was probably episode 3. But I think this episode was paced better than episode 3, to be honest. I think it still served the plot a fair amount. And it was pretty emotional there at the end when Riley and Ellie get bit. And obviously we know Riley dies and Ellie is immune. So it was just sad stuff, to be honest with you. Definitely one of the better parts of the episode. But overall, I really enjoyed the abandoned mall set design as a whole in this episode. I was looking forward to seeing what it would look like in live action, and it looks pretty great, to be honest with you. And definitely kind of gives me liminal space vibes. If you don't know what a liminal space is, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole with you. But if you do know what I'm talking about, then heck yeah, brother. Great set design, and just kind of gave me that creepy but somewhat nostalgic feel. Possibly because, obviously, this mall's supposed to be set in 2003, because that's when the outbreak started. And it already gave me some of that nostalgic energy, especially with the arcade and just some of the designs, especially in the food court and stuff. It was really cool, though. It looked really solid, I got to be honest. That's another highlight of the episode for me. And I think the first, 15, 20 minutes or so, when you're kind of catching up with Ellie and we are first introduced to Riley, it wasn't as interesting. And then Riley's like, I've joined the Fireflies and all that. And that whole journey to the mall, again, the first 15 minutes or so, it wasn't amazing, but it definitely started picking things up things started to pick up rather in the abandoned mall, because I thought the abandoned mall setting was really awesome. And I thought there were some fun moments, especially when Ellie and Riley are kind of dancing with the Halloween masks on. That was pretty cute and wholesome, and I liked the carousel scene. I thought that was nice. And at the end of the episode, we do see that Ellie starts stitching up Joel, so that's really good. And again, I don't know if we'll be seeing more of Joel injured in the next episode. I assume we will, because he's still, not 100%. But he was doing better in this episode, of course. He's no longer unconscious, so that's a good thing, of course. And I think it was a pretty decent episode. I didn't love it, but, I for going in with low expectations, I think that really helped my viewing experience when watching this, because if I had gone in with high expectations and expected this to be one of the best episodes of the series so far, probably wouldn't have enjoyed it that much. I thought the actress who played Riley was pretty solid. I thought she was good. Especially at the end, all those emotional moments after they got bit was just tragic stuff and very emotional. I didn't quite cry, but it was good stuff. I think Riley was cast quite well, and her chemistry with Ellie, Bella Ramsey, was good stuff. It was very cute, very wholesome moments in this episode, while also being terribly tragic and emotional. It's just crazy stuff. But yeah, it was a decent episode. Again, my only main negative is that I do kind of wish they intercut the Ellie and Joel stuff in the present. with the Ellie and Riley stuff a bit more. They really only showed it at the beginning and the end. That's my main complaint with the episode, but who knows, we might be getting more of Joel being injured in the next episode. I haven't seen the promo for next week's episode, but nonetheless, still thought it was a pretty solid episode, but just, didn't blow me away like some of these. Last episode, I think, was my favorite episode, so it didn't quite blow me away as much, but yeah. Of course, let me hear your thoughts on the episode down in the comments below. I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say. I feel like this could be yet another controversial episode for the series. I would not be surprised if it was controversial for most people, and there's some online discourse going around at the moment, but those are my initial thoughts. Thought it was solid, and yeah, let me hear yours down in the comments. And if you guys liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.